back in the day, August Burns Red played there. Anal Cunt played there. I mean, it's been a staple for years and years and years. I don't know how they've managed to keep it going on through all the tenants, but
I was gonna say, like, that's crazy how long that's lasted. Then
Really has.
I bet it had a stink to it, huh?
yeah,
Certain nice funk, moldy basement smell. It's the best.
Welcome to the 177th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show interview bands and public figures from the Mathcore adjacent community. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, do all the things social. Every little bit helps. And if you want to join us every Sunday and Wednesday for the live cast, you can interact with the guests in real time or just hang on the chat. You can also subscribe to this Twitch channel for just $5 to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming platforms, as well as get some exclusive emotes. You can also do that for free by attaching Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. Recently put up a pre-order for merch for the Sound That Ends Creations new EP, Unicorn Laser Bubblegum City. We've got windbreakers, there's jogging pants, there's shirt design, got some vinyl. You can check out all that stuff at the soundthatendskreation.bandcamp.com. And yeah, with that out of the way, let me introduce our guest today who dropped their debut record, Ain't Nothing Like the Last Minute, back in August. Welcome in Betty Gray. How's it going?
Hey there, how's it going, Chris?
How's it going?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining me. How about we go around and you tell us who you are, what you do in the band?
My name is Joel. I do vocals.
Yep. And I'm Josh. I play bass and designated DD for the band.
Designated
That's
what?
true. Designated DD.
driver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Are you straight edge?
Nope. I'm addicted to caffeine and cigarettes and Diet Coke. Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I'm a big caffeine guy myself. I'm not much into cigarettes anymore. So the band has been around for less than a year, or
Less than a year, about February, January, February, something like that.
Dang. Well, so how did it all come together?
So me and AJ, our guitarist, were in other bands, and they kind of fizzled out. They tried to hang on after COVID, but it didn't really work out. So we've been friends forever. Figured we'd start something different. And we did. Our friend Mikey also, he's the drummer. We've played shows with his old bands too. So we've been meaning to get together to do a project for years now. We just, with our past projects, never had the time. So here we are.
And the name Betty Gray, where does that come from?
Well, my grandmother passed away. Her name was Betty. I named my dog after her, and she's a black German Shepherd. You met her. Okay. And then like around January, December, Betty White died. So we're like, well, there's Black Betty. Betty White died. Let's just split the difference. Betty Gray.
That's hilarious. Okay.
There's probably way better band name stories. How'd you get the Sound That Ends Creation?
I just subconsciously held on to the title of what was it? Society One, I think, was a band that put out an album called The Sound That Ends Creation. Just thought it was a sick name and just held on to that. And he's that. But so Betty Gray, I thought that it was gonna be like a historical figure or something like that, or like maybe like a relative. I guess it kind of is a relative or whatever. But that's hilarious. So that's where this came up. So I guess the sound would be like straightforward hardcore punk. Is that kind of how you would describe it, or how would you describe it?
Oh yeah. Hardcore, punk rock. We try to do a little bit of rock and roll too. It's a
lot more fun than most hardcore bands that I listen to.
Right. A lot of people think that rock and roll is a dirty word. It is a breath of fresh air to be able to play some good old parts.
Like little southern rock kind of vibes, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of influences do y'all bring to the band?
Leonard Skinner.
Yeah. Cancer Bats, sick of it all. Some Maylene, Norma Jean, Chariot, a lot of New York hardcore, Madball. We have a running joke. What do you call band from Virginia trying to do New York hardcore? It's a hick of it, y'all.
Okay. So is there like a big scene out in there, Virginia? It kind of feels like it was a little sparse whenever I went through there. But you living there, you know better than me.
It ebbs and flows. If I remember correctly, it was kind of like your show is like a last minute type thing.
Like
it really
2
depends.
days last minute. It was
Yeah, super last minute. It just depends. It is a big state, nowhere near as big as Texas, but there are different college towns where it's wonderful, and there are some towns that will have like 5 different shows going on, and I mean, it's hit or miss.
Okay. So the lyrics, it's I'm sorry. Most hardcore is like really dark lyrics, I guess. Yours are more like uplifting lyrics about how you get past dark moments in your life, I guess. So where do you get that kind of inspiration from? Like, is there like an author that you read a lot, or like, yeah? How come your lyrics are so much different from other hardcore bands?
I wouldn't characterize hardcore as I would say like most of the bands, I guess, we listen to have a sort of, I mean, it may be like negative things going on in the world, but I like to think that there's always sort of a positive outlook on it. It's always about like perseverance, tenacity, resilience, stuff like that. It's a weird world post-COVID. I mean, we're very glad to be back doing shows and stuff. I have played more shows this year than in the last 3 years.
Nice.
That being said, there's a lot of turmoil and healing the world still needs to do. So I guess a lot of the subject material comes from that.
Yeah, especially with our live shows, we try to keep it fun and lively the whole time, and it's kind of upbeat and it's more fun than anything, just trying to bring that fun to the crowd.
So it was recorded and mixed by John Santalis. Did I get that right?
To the best of my knowledge, we call him JC.
Recorded and mixed by JC at Raw Recording, and mastered by Brian Carnes at Stickman Sounds. What was the experience like getting this recorded?
It was pretty laid back. I've worked with JC and Brian for years, about almost a decade, both of them. My old band had recorded every single one of our albums up in New York with JC. Brian has recorded a couple 7 inches for my past projects. Very easy to work with. The communication is really key, especially if you're in different states. So we just have a fairly good rapport.
You like take like a week off or whatever and go over there and record, or how did that work?
Didn't need a whole week. We got that knocked out in about 3 days.
Nice. Pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, they're short songs.
Yeah, true. So your artwork, which I totally forgot to put on here. I think I did. Let me bring that artwork up real quick. You want to tell us who did it for you?
Is a guy named Billy Collier. I'll be honest, I was just looking for a cheap option and I was looking at his pre-made folder, and that struck me. So I was like, that's the one. I sent a bunch of them to the group chat. That's the one we all like the most.
Okay.
So
no reason in particular. It's just a cool looking.
No reason in it in particular, just something that all of us could agree on.
Okay. And what's with the album title? Ain't Nothing Like the Last Minute.
Because we are the kings of procrastination. So we had like one song not even completely written until the last practice before we went up to record. So we were like, what are we going to call this album? Ain't Nothing Like the Last Minute. Can we all agree on that? It's true to form.
It is very true.
So that's what we stuck with.
Alrighty.
These are terrible answers. I'm sorry that
Dude, no,
all
you're good, man.
all the definitions are jokes.
No. So got any future plans coming up? You like going out on tour or anything like that?
We have, I think, 8 shows before the year's over with.
That's a lot. Jeez. Like if it's not a tour, like they're local shows, I'm assuming.
A few of them are local. We have a little Northeast run. We're going with our friends in Consumed.
Oh, nice.
And that is towards the end of the next month, like right after Thanksgiving. We're like waking up Friday morning and going up to New York.
Hell yeah, that's
Connecticut, Rhode Island.
So we'll be going north to New England. Got a couple shows, Connecticut and Rhode Island.
And that's
Then
y'all's
coming
first
back
tour,
down.
right?
We've done a few runs up north.
Oh, okay.
We've done Pennsylvania, we've done Connecticut a few times, Maryland. And we got a couple come next year. We're going to be going down south. We have a 5-day run in January. I think Richmond to Florida Georgia, excuse me, and then back up to DC, hitting North Carolina and South Carolina. I figure we're going to be like geese and fly south for the winter.
Nice.
Try to beat some of the weather. And then I think March we're going to Mississippi and Florida.
Oh, you actually
March.
found someone in Mississippi to book, dude. I've been like scouring that state, could not find a single contact. So that's crazy.
Remind me, and I'll send you the contact.
Good, you should. But yeah, anytime y'all come to Texas, hit me up and we'll definitely get something together here. Any plans to like come out that far? Works.
Probably at some point next year. It'll probably be towards like around this time next year, but it would be fun. It's a big old state. Probably just take a week for Texas.
No, you probably could. 100%. You could probably do a whole.
Have a layover in NOLA.
So you guys have played a lot of shows. What's the best show you played so far?
I would say Harrisonburg, Virginia. It's a place called the Crayola House. It's like a basement in a house that's been there for like 30 years. It's right across from a big university. The kids come out there. They're super eager to just throw down. We played with fusion jazz bands there, and it all mixes together. I know it's a college town, so they just weird.
We've played with like grind bands, psych bands, alt rock bands.
Sometimes we're the heaviest, sometimes we're the not so heaviest.
Really,
But
that's
crazy.
crazy.
But the people there really like to, they're college kids, so they just like to experience new things, and we've gained a lot of fans there. And
It's right across from JMU, and here in the northern part of Virginia where we're at, I guess because we're so close to DC, there's just a culture of exhaustion here. But out there, they're in Harrisonburg, and there's a beautiful valley with the mountains and everything. And the shows there don't start till 10 o'clock. And there's like 80 to 100 people in this little murder basement. And it's amazing. Basement. So next time you come to Virginia, ask me about Harrisonburg.
Dude, hell yeah, that's fucking sick, man. I love DIY spots like that, and like especially near college town. Those are usually where like some of the best shows are at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. Back in the day, August Burns Red played there. Anal Cunt played there. I mean, it's been a staple for years and years and years. I don't know how they've managed to keep it going on through all the tenants. But
I was gonna say, like, that's crazy how long that's lasted. Then
Really has.
I bet it had a stink to it, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, certain nice funk, moldy basement smell. It's the best.
Me and AJ, the guitarist, we like boxed wine, and we've played there. Have we played there 3 times? Three times this year. And our leftover box of wine that we had a set list written on is still in one of the corners.
It's fermenting as we speak. Yeah.
Nice. So, what's the worst show y'all played?
Oh, it's hit or miss because
Worst show. Worst as defined by turnout or by our
Well, so it's kind of up to you. A lot of people talk about like technical issues and stuff, but like I don't know, I like hearing like interactions with weird people and stuff like that, or it's whatever you would call the worst show. And y'all don't have to agree on it either. Y'all could each have your own story if you wanted.
well, we played some places because so my story is I joined in July. I played more shows than band practices, so we played like 17 times since July. So it's always hit or miss. So you go to a venue that's really nice, has a stage, has monitors, all this good stuff, and then nobody shows up because of like a heavy cover charge. So you end up playing to the rest of the bands.
Right.
So those are good. I call them like glory practices because it's like band practice, but you have like a little bit of a crowd and it sounds really good. So those are the ones that I don't care for as much. I'd rather play in a murder basement DIY.
Right. I hate regular venues too. Yeah. Like always a DIY spot.
I'll second that or third that. Yeah. It seems like in a post COVID world, house shows and DIY spots are the way to go. You definitely save on bar tabs.
Yeah.
There's not you can just run things, crank up your amps. You don't have to worry about drum monitors or anything like that.
Yeah, our last show we played, we had to speed up everything because the DJ was coming on at 10 p.m. and the rest of the bar crowd, they kind of just kicked us all out. So that was unique, but it's whatever.
So y'all haven't had like an experience where everything just goes wrong then?
Not everything. No, something has to go right. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So you didn't have any merch up on your Bandcamp. Do you have anything?
We do. We have hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have stickers, we have CDs. I'm just fairly zealous in some ways and fairly lazy in others, so I haven't put it on the Bandcamp. Plus, we go through it so fast at shows that it's probably for the best that it's not on there, or else I wouldn't have it in stock for the shows. But we have like pictures of it on all the socials. So, I mean, if anyone's interested in anything, they can just DM us and we'll send something out.
Yeah, Betty Gray VA on Instagram, and then Facebook's pretty active with that, posting about the merch as it comes out.
You were also mentioning to me before we got started that you might have some other kind of merch coming out.
7-inch.
Oh yeah.
The cassettes and stuff?
So next year, depending on the turnaround, we are working with a little label out of DC called Settle For It Records, and they're going to put out some cassettes, a limited run of cassettes and a limited run of 7 inches of the last release.
Nice.
And they will probably come out and be done right around the time that we're recording the next release.
Oh,
So,
really? Wow, y'all are getting right
but,
back in there then, huh?
Yeah. I think we're hitting the studio again next summer.
Nice.
that's
Full
good.
length or another like EP? I guess I call this an EP. I'm not sure how you classify it.
Where does the line get drawn? I guess it's an
Right.
EP. It's short. Yeah. If it can fit on a 7-inch, it's an EP. If it has to be 12 inches.
Well, our songs are like 1:45, so
Yeah. What if it was 20 songs and he
Right. No, it's a weird line. Like the first Daughters album is only like 10 minutes.
Right.
get in, get out,
Uh,
Probably maybe a couple more songs than the last release, but I like the idea that it can fit on a 7-inch. So I would want to keep it around like 15 minutes max.
Why do
It
you
makes it-
like it being on a 7-inch?
I just I like the idea of less is more. I feel like songs are like children. If you have too many of them, they might get neglected, and you might
Okay.
not be able to spend as much time with them.
Yeah, it makes a great live set because we get to offer all that we have, you know, in the little short time that whatever we get.
And you can still leave them wanting more instead of, oh, you've overstayed your welcome. Is this going to end yet? I'm bored. Let's go on to the next. With the TikTok and everything, everybody's attention spans are so much shorter.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. There's people that write music specifically for TikTok now.
Yeah.
Like huge stars that just put their stuff out on TikTok. It's
Little
wild.
jingles.
You
I don't
guys
know.
gonna be doing like music videos and stuff like that?
When the stars align, there's a couple people that we're trying to work with. It's just with work and family and all the shows and stuff. We just have not found the time. And here we are about to get into the holidays. So it was something that we were supposed to do and we had it all planned out. We had a day agreed on, and then it stormed like crazy. So we couldn't do it.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, y'all must have been caught in like the hurricane and shit then, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I think that was what happened.
Okay. How was all that? Like you guys are good, like safe and everything?
Yeah, we're fine.
Pretty
I don't know
used
how
to it
hard
over
it
here.
actually hit Virginia or whatever, but yeah.
It was a mess. It wasn't like trees down or anything like that. But I mean, you couldn't record something outside.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Or you could, but it would be really dirty. I imagine really messed up.
That might be actually pretty good music.
Now I'm thinking about it, it's kind of a good idea.
They got special effects.
We got hurricane parties and stuff, you know, so kind of like that.
So I guess we could close this out with your album of the year. What are y'all listening to so far?
I like Callous Cowboys, Celebrity Therapist. That's
Hell yeah.
a really good jam. Just seeing them in Baltimore, really surprised at how unique they have become.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
Love it.
Right now, my album of the year is a pop punk singer songwriter, Maggie Lindemann.
Okay.
It's very different. It's pop punk, but she goes in a couple different directions, and that's what I am enjoying most.
Nice.
Off the top of my head, I'll probably think of something after this is over, and I said, "Ooh, I should have said that. That would be way more brutal." But if I'm being honest, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Awesome. I can't say I've heard of her before, but that sounds cool. Oh, there is one other thing I wanted to mention. You guys have a guess on every song, and I don't know who any of them are. So we got oh, my handwriting is awful. Holy crap. Justin Anthony, Devin Hatcher, Trevor Reitano, Zach Jordan, Gilbo Baggins, John Grove, and Chris Best. So, who are all these people?
I'm glad you asked. Justin Anthony, as I said earlier, we're going on a little Northeast run with Consumed. He's the vocalist of Consumed. He also is in a band called Mortal Ground out of DC. Who is the next one? Devin Hatcher is in a band from Virginia called Fellowship. Going down.
Reitano?
Trevor is in a band called Down with Rent out of Connecticut. We've done a run with them earlier this year, and they're doing a couple of those dates in the Northeast with us.
That's a sick band name. I really like that.
Down with Rent. Yeah, they're badass. Kind of hardcore punk, similar to Dangers or like a more proletarian Every Time I Die. Fun stuff. Zach Jordan is in another DC band called Mostly Dead. The guy who does that Settle For It Records is their drummer. And Zach actually formatted all the artwork to be like, he put the liner notes and everything on the CD insert for us. He has a graphics company called Feast Famine. Gilbo Baggins is in a band called 333 out of Richmond, Virginia. They're kind of death metal thrashy. John Grove is in a band in York, Pennsylvania called Coffee with Lions. They're more melodic punk oriented. And Chris Best is in another DC band called Ain't No Mountain High Enough. They're kind of like if Dead Kennedys and System of a Down and Misfits and Tom Jones and Frank Sinatra all got together and jammed.
Jesus Christ.
It's a fun band.
I thought you were going to say have a baby, but yeah,
It's a fun band.
it is.
So the idea was, we're a brand new band. We recorded that album. We wrote that album and recorded it in like 3 months. We just wanted to bring a bunch of bands. We figured it would be a good cross pollination. Have guest vocalists on every track, just like a hip hop album.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've always wanted to do something like this, but I could never figure out how to like logistically get it done, right? Like, not everybody has recording software or whatever. So, how did you get them all to like, organize everything? How'd you organize everything? Because it's like, what, 8 people you got to keep in contact with?
So a couple of them were up there, and they were able to come to the studio to do it in person.
Nice.
A couple others, the guy who mastered it, Brian Carnes, he lives in Fredericksburg here with us. So he has a shed where his band Alluvian practices in, and a few of the vocalists recorded there, and he was able to mix it in and send it up to JC. And then 2 others of the guest vocalists just did it remotely and had the ability to do so.
Well,
We gave the options. We could say you can A, come to Brian's, B, go all the way up to New York, or C, do it yourself. So
that's cool, man. It's like building a community or whatever. So that's badass.
absolutely.
Exactly.
So, I think that's about it. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we head on out?
Our next show is this Saturday in Hampton, Virginia. If you are in Hampton, Virginia, or the 757 Virginia Beach area, come on out and wear a costume. We'll be playing with Love Guns, Autopsy Affair, Alpha, and Contactees. After that, we're playing in Richmond the following week. And those are the last 2 local shows before we head up north. So if you're watching and if you care, come on out.
Hell yeah.
That is if you're in Virginia.
They can fly out.
Yeah, why not?
So if you're looking for some awesome hardcore, you got to check out the debut record from Betty Gray, Ain't Nothing Like the Last Minute, which came out back in August. Y'all are on Facebook, Bandcamp, Instagram, not YouTube yet, right? There's no YouTube, right?
It's on. The songs are on YouTube.
Oh, okay, sick.
All the streaming services.
Nice. And all streaming services. Any other websites you're trying to send people to?
You can check out the YouTuber, the Spotify, Apple, whatever.
Oh, I didn't know if you had like a big cartel or anything like that.
Nope, not that fancy.
DIY.
So as for me, drop my channel, follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming platforms, as well as get some exclusive. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. YouTube folks, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, click on the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at thesoundthatenscreation.bandcamp.com. Again, we got pre-order up for my new EP, Unicorn Laser Bubblegum City. We got windbreakers, joggers, shirts, and vinyl available. So I'm going to be taking off this next Sunday. It's got a lot going on the next few days. I'll be back on Wednesday with Thought Crime, who's dropping the new album Digital Drift this Friday through Prosthetic Records. And yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Hope you had a good time.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thank you guys for watching and listening.
We